So let's look forward to the day when our California wines, toasted the world over, are available throughout Canada without hindrance for your dining delight, just as Molson's ale is available to every American table.
There was no California wine at Government House tonight, nor Canadian wine for that matter. They drank the toasts with French wine. But that is a trade problem of a different kind. George Residency News, Ottawa.
Despite our best efforts, illegal cocaine is coming into our country at alarming levels, and 4 to 5 million people regularly use it. My generation will remember how America swung into action when we were attacked in World War II. Well, now we're in another war for our freedom, and it's time for all of us to pull together again.
Reagan decided to strike directly at the source, South American countries that were the largest suppliers of drugs, by enlisting the Pentagon's help. He authorized the use of military intelligence, training, and equipment, billions of dollars worth, to try to stop the production and distribution of illegal drugs.
What time should we try a combo check from up there?
I call them around noon.
At this jungle camp, a team of agents from the DEA is leading an elite Bolivian paramilitary force in the drug war. They are backed up by a special unit of U.S. Army Green Berets. Their tactics, search and destroy.
We're not going to be able to totally get people away from growing in certain areas of Bolivia, but this is one area where I think we can stop them. What we're trying to do is make the cost of producing not sufficient to make it worth their time. There's only one reason for to be involved in drugs down here, and that's money.
The billions to be made from the cocaine trade tainted every part of the process. During the Iran-Contra scandal that tarnished the Reagan and Bush administrations, high-ranking federal officials, in their zeal to thwart leftist rebels in Latin America, were actually cooperating with the drug smugglers. The DEA uncovered evidence that American planes supplying arms to the Nicaraguan Contra rebels were returning to the U.S. loaded with cocaine and marijuana.
We could bring back our own cargo, and they would arrange it, or we could bring back their cargo without ever having to worry about interception, arrest, anything like this, but everything was taken care of.
What kind of cargo were you talking about?
Drugs.
But that wasn't the only time the government knowingly let drugs come into the country.
Now, do you understand what you're saying? A ton of cocaine was smuggled into the United States of America by the Venezuelan National Guard? Well, they in cooperation with the CIA? That's exactly what appears to have happened.
In an effort to infiltrate a Colombian drug cartel, the CIA set up a drug trafficking operation with the help of the Venezuelan National Guard. Problem was that in order not to blow the operation, the CIA allowed 1,000 kilos of cocaine to be smuggled into Venezuela and ultimately onto U.S. streets.
I've been studying CIA and the drug trade for about 23 years, and this is one of my favorite documents of all time. Some 28 C-130 Hercules were smuggled by the CIA and the Pentagon through the U.S. Forest Service into private hands, supposedly for the purpose of fighting forest fires. The problem was that some of them turned up in Peru, in Mexico, in Panama, in Angola, in Iran, and Iraq, running covert missions for the CIA. One of these C-130s was caught in Mexico City. Aeropostal de Mexico had it, with $1 billion worth of cocaine on board. The Forest Service, having let these airplanes out, found itself in a kind of embarrassing position. So they had their lawyers work on it, and notice the last sentence. DOD is the Department of Defense. Apparently, DOD thinks that by having the Forest Service as the intermediary, if any future aircraft are used in drug smuggling, the Forest Service and not DOD will suffer the adverse publicity. They don't care about stopping it, they care about who's going to take the blame.
Left hanging was the issue of unchallenged presidential power.
If a president should decide to act on his own, then he is raising a substantive controversy or a substantive issue with Congress. He's taking something from Congress that it's supposed to have. But then if he lies about it, he raises a second constitutional issue because he's not responding honestly to Congress, and he's emasculating the system of checks and balances that the Constitution counts on. We're trained to believe that everyone is subject to the rule of law, and this has been true for centuries, ever since the 12th century when the great lawyer said that the king is beneath no man, but beneath God and beneath the law, because the law maketh the king.
What do you know about money going to the Congress?
All I know is this is just going to taste wonderful, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Extremely successfully. And I think that's been very frustrating to people who wanted to make another Watergate scandal out of the whole matter. We took a big hit, but we cut our losses.